Meet Jonathan Rivers, a 42-year-old lawyer whose life hangs by a thread after a devastating car accident thrusts him into an unforgettable journey beyond consciousness. What happens when a lawyer's life hangs by a thread, teetering between life and the chilling unknown? Buckle up, because this is just the beginning of a profound transformation that will shatter your beliefs about karma and justice. Could a fleeting moment in the abyss redefine everything you thought you knew about the balance of good and evil? If this captivates you, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more eye-opening revelations. I was driving on that fateful day, the sun casting its warm glow across the highway, when suddenly everything changed. A crash shattered the tranquility, the world turning chaotic and dark in an instant. And then, silence. I felt myself detach from my physical form, floating above the wreckage, bewildered yet oddly calm. Below me, the remnants of my car lay twisted and mangled, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. As I hovered in this surreal state, an unexpected wave of peace washed over me. It was a profound contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded, a stillness that seemed to envelop me, a soothing balm cradling my essence. I glanced downward at my lifeless body, a realization dawning on me. I was no longer bound to my earthly existence. I was witnessing a reality beyond the material world, a place where time felt irrelevant, and the weight of my worries dissipated like mist under the morning sun. But then the atmosphere shifted, thickening around me as if the air itself were charged with energy. A sense of foreboding crept in, intertwining with my serenity. In that moment, I sensed a presence approaching, something both terrifying and compelling, marking the beginning of my journey into the unknown. I could feel it drawing nearer, an unseen force that sent ripples of fear through my being while simultaneously igniting a curious flame within me. What would it feel like to float above your own life, detached yet acutely aware of every moment that brought you to this point? I pondered this question, realizing that while I felt an unsettling fear, it was equally met by an inexplicable comfort that enveloped my spirit. It was as if I was both terrified and soothed, balancing on the edge of two worlds, one filled with the noise and pain of existence, and the other a tranquil void that promised revelations. As I hovered there, the sense of the presence grew stronger, an energy that felt ancient and wise. It felt both like an entity and an echo of my own conscience, beckoning me to confront truths I had long avoided. Who or what was this apparition that dared to breach the veil between life and death? A shiver raced down my spine as I awaited its arrival, knowing instinctively that this encounter would forever alter my understanding of justice, karma, and the life I had lived. There, suspended in the moment, I felt the weight of my past bearing down upon me, and I knew that I was not just a passive observer. I was on the precipice of confronting the very essence of my choices and their impact on the lives of others. Would this presence unveil the truths I had brushed aside, illuminating the shadows that clung to my career like remnants of smoke? The waves of sensation intensified, teasing me with glimpses of revelations yet to come. How deep would this journey go? Would I emerge transformed or forever haunted by the truths I would uncover? The questions hung in the air, whispering promises of insight and dread as I braced myself for what was to come. Before me stood the spirit of true crime, a shadowy figure with piercing eyes that seemed to see into my very soul. Its presence was both chilling and compelling, exuding an unsettling aura that encapsulated all the unresolved truths and injustices I had brushed aside throughout my career. I felt a magnetic pull toward this spectral being, battling a tumult of fear and curiosity. "You've lived surrounded by ethical dilemmas, Jonathan," it intoned, its voice resonating deep within me, echoing in my mind like a distant thunderstorm ready to unleash its fury. As I locked eyes with this enigmatic spirit, an overwhelming wave of raw emotion washed over me. It was as if it held all the memories of my existence, the triumphs, the failures, and every dubious decision I had ever made. Each case I had closed felt like a weight pressing against my chest, forcing me to confront the ripple effects of my choices. I could sense the pain of those whose stories I had neglected, their faces flashing in my mind like a haunting slideshow. The Spirit was here to unveil the cost of my actions, to shine light on the shadows I had overlooked. This moment is a reckoning, it continued, and with each word I felt the shackles of denial tighten around me. Every choice you made, every moral quandary you avoided, has woven its way into the fabric of your life. In that moment, clarity dawned on me. I had lived under the illusion that my actions didn't matter in the grand scheme. But as the Spirit of true crime revealed the weight of my ethical dilemmas, my initial resistance began to crumble. The Spirit waved its ethereal hand, and suddenly I found myself submerged in a cascade of memories. I witnessed the faces of my former clients, those individuals I had fought for, and others I had neglected. Each one, a thread in the intricate tapestry of my profession, was swirling around with glimmers of unresolved hurt and longing for justice. As their expressions morphed from anger to despair, I felt their emotions intertwine with my own. Guilt surged through me, splitting my heart open and awakening a profound realization. Every action had consequences, often unforeseen and sometimes devastating. Your journey in the world of crime and justice has not just been about winning cases or maintaining a reputation, the Spirit whispered, its words wrapping around me like a shroud. It's been about the lives impacted by your decisions. I could feel the gravity of this truth resonating within me, each pulse echoing my own ethical failings. You must confront these consequences to truly understand your life and choices. As I stood before the Spirit of true crime, a daunting yet liberating thought pierced through the haze of realization. This figure held the key to understanding all my past actions. The anticipation was overwhelming. What would it reveal? What hidden truths lay in wait, ready to expose the darkest corners of my professional existence? Remember, Jonathan, every choice held consequences you were yet to confront, it intoned, a reminder and a challenge. In that profound moment, I knew that the revelations to come would shake the very foundations of who I believed myself to be. How would this confrontation alter me? What scars would it reveal, and more importantly, what would it teach me about the interwoven paths of my life and theirs? As the Spirit began to dissipate into the shadows, I was left grappling with the weight of its words, my mind racing with possibilities and realizations. I couldn't help but wonder what these revelations would uncover within the depths of my being. How many lives had I unknowingly affected, and what truths about justice, karma, and my own morality were about to surface? The answers lingered like a tantalizing whisper, urging me to keep exploring this surreal, transformative experience. In that moment of suspended reality, the Spirit's presence intensified, causing my past decisions to flash before my eyes. I felt as though I was surfacing from a deep, dark sea, struggling to breathe in the light of understanding. Each memory was a gasp of horror and remorse, revealing faces I had long forgotten, my former clients. Their expressions, filled with pain and disillusionment, cut through the fog of my professional detachment. I could feel their struggles, their fears, and their hopes wrapped around me like a shroud. The Spirit guided me through these recollections, illustrating the ties that bound us all in a web of karmic consequence. I recalled the moments I had chosen expediency over integrity, prioritizing profit over justice. There was Jason, who trusted me to navigate his legal battles, but was left feeling betrayed by my indifference as I pushed his case aside for a more lucrative client. His trusting smile haunted me as I watched him spiral into despair, the weight of his lost opportunities pressing down on his shoulders. Then there was Rebecca, whose family imploded under the harsh decisions I sanctioned, seemingly for the sake of ambition. She sat across from my desk, hopeful yet vulnerable, and I, too consumed by ambition, had overlooked her cries for help because addressing them meant more time and less recognition for myself. The Spirit unraveled these threads of choice, weaving together a narrative that echoed the fundamental principles of karma. Every action has a reaction, resonating through the lives we touch, often in ways we can't comprehend. As guilt washed over me, hot and bitter, I began to see how effortlessly I had dismissed the moral quandaries surrounding my choices. The Spirit's dialogue opened my eyes to the darker corners of my profession, where integrity had slipped through my fingers like sand. I felt my heart pound, each beat serving as a reminder of the weight those choices carried. How many lives had I impacted without ever realizing it? I wrestled with sadness for those I had let down, while also grappling with the realization that my own ambition had cost them dearly. Each decision was a thread in the fabric of karma, the Spirit revealed, emphasizing how interconnected our lives truly are. I was utterly engrossed in this profound lesson, understanding now that even the seemingly smallest choice could resonate far beyond my limited perception. The initial sense of panic morphed into clarity, illuminating the vast ripple effects of my actions. How often do we prioritize success over integrity? I pondered, realizing this question could extend into every facet of life. I was living proof of how ambition could lead us to dark places if we're not mindful of the moral compass navigating our decisions. My encounters with debtors, victims of my past negligence, replayed before me, and I was left questioning the ethics of my choices far more than their outcomes. This awakening illuminated a path forward, one that required courage and accountability. And yet, as the Spirit's words echoed in my heart, I couldn't ignore the unsettling truth that lingered. How many lives did I impact without ever realizing it? Each revelation left me teetering on the edge of both acceptance and despair, yearning to rectify the threads I'd tugged out of place in the fabric of karma. What if our actions echo far beyond our understanding? As I stood there, enveloped in the presence of the Spirit, a rush of revelations began to cascade over me. Vivid images of a world where injustices lingered, unacknowledged and unpunished. I had always been intrigued by true crime, the chilling narratives of lives altered by choices, but now I faced the stark reality that those stories were more than just entertainment. They were principles of a broader karmic truth, begging to be seen and understood. The Spirit's voice resonated within me, urging me to grasp the intricacies of the consequences we so often overlook. I envisioned a society suffering under the weight of past actions, traumas unhealed, wrongs unrighted, perpetuating cycles of violence and despair. Each time we chose to ignore an injustice or remain silent in the face of wrong, we contributed to that cycle. It was a potent reminder that every decision, whether grand or minute, held the power to ripple outward, influencing lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. As this daunting reality settled in my heart, I felt the undeniable push of karmic justice. I could almost hear the echoes of my own past decisions, reverberating like thunder in the distance. How had I contributed to that echo? Had I ever considered the impact of my smallest acts? Each tiny deed of kindness had the potential to uplift a weary soul. Conversely, even the slightest utterance of cruelty could leave scars that lasted a lifetime. This tugged at the edges of my conscience as if demanding my attention, and I couldn't shake the profound sense of responsibility it ignited. The transformation I was undergoing began to become clearer. No longer could I view my life in isolation. Rather, I needed to embrace the interconnectedness of our existence. I realized that every small act can change lives, infuse a moment of hope, or shift a trajectory towards something more positive. The Spirit illuminated this truth, and in that moment of clarity, I felt a weight lift. I was being called to reconsider not only my choices, but the intentions behind them. What if I chose to be more compassionate? What if I dared to speak against injustice when I saw it? These thoughts spun like a whirlpool in my mind, gently reshaping my understanding of karma. It became less about punishment and more about an opportunity for growth and healing. By choosing to be aware of how my actions reverberate within the world, I could actively participate in the positive transformation of our shared reality. It was powerful, and I wasn't alone in this journey. The Spirit urged me to share this awakening, to stand as a testament to the potential for change that resides within each of us. As our encounter deepened, I sensed a growing duty to break the silence surrounding our collective experiences. The implications of my realizations extended beyond my personal journey. They were a call to arms for all who dared to listen. With each heartbeat, I felt the urgency to awaken others to the truth that every choice, no matter how small, interlaces with the larger tapestry of humanity. It's a reminder that in this intricate web of life, we are all entwined, our destinies woven together through our actions and their repercussions. I was learning, through this transformative experience, to embrace my role in shaping that tapestry, reclaiming my power to influence the narrative of justice, compassion, and consequence. And as I stood on the threshold of this understanding, I felt ready to embrace the profound responsibility that accompanied it. This transformation isn't just my story. It's a call to all of you. The revelations I experienced in that moment of near death ignited a spark within me, a realization that we all have the power to rewrite our narratives, to embrace a path of healing that not only affects our lives but ripples out to those around us. Each of us holds the brush and the palette to create our own masterpiece, and in doing so, we have the ability to influence the larger tapestry of existence. It's an empowering truth, one that reminds us that healing begins within, and that every positive step we take can inspire others to embark on their own journeys of transformation. As I stood in the light, absorbing the powerful truths revealed, one message resonated at the core of my being. Every action resonates in the tapestry of karma. Sometimes, it's our smallest choices that weave the most significant patterns. Imagine the impact when we decide to be kinder, to forgive, or to pursue our passions. Those seemingly minor actions accumulate and create waves of change that extend beyond our immediate surroundings. It's a profound realization that can reshape how we approach each moment of our lives. Now, I want to hear from you. What steps are you taking toward your moral evolution? Your journey matters, and sharing your experiences can foster a sense of community and support. Let's start a dialogue in the comments below. Your story might just encourage someone else who's on the brink of transformation too. In the coming weeks, I envision exploring more personal stories of transformation and how we can learn from the past to shape a better future. This is just the beginning of our journey together, and I am excited to dive deeper with you all. We will examine the many facets of spirituality, karma, and personal growth, unraveling the intricacies of our shared human experience. As you reflect on the insights shared today, I challenge you this week to identify one action that can impact your life positively. It could be something as simple as reaching out to an old friend or deciding to donate your time to a cause you care about. Whatever it is, share it with someone to stay accountable. This small act can lead to heightened awareness and intention in your life, setting the stage for meaningful change. Until next time, keep choosing growth and awareness. We're all in this together. Our collective journey is woven into the fabric of humanity, and with each conscious choice we make, we contribute to a brighter, more compassionate world. I can't wait to see where our paths take us next.